okay, we're good. Just give me 2 seconds to bring up the last few things. Gotta get my time calculator up, because we're good with in-game time. And other than that, welcome everybody to Codename Kids Next Door Operation Video Game. I'm gonna be Steb. Well, I am Steb. I'm gonna be your runner tonight. And as soon as I make this profile and do a few things with the audio settings, just for personal comfort, we should be good to go. Just gonna go into the options real quick. Turn down the audio a little bit. Save the changes, yes. Back out of here. And now we're going to get started on the game. We're going to jump right in here with Operation Tutorial. As soon as this loading screen finishes. Of course, it's a PS2 game, so there's a lot of loading screen going on. And yeah, as soon as this is done, the timer will start and we'll get right into the game. And I'll be able to start talking about stuff. Now, the first thing to know about this game is that every level is an acronym for something. I don't remember what, but basically in Kids Next Door, if you're familiar with the show, everything is an acronym. It's always Operation, whatnot, oh god. My live split. Okay, 1 second. I am gonna go and set my live split. Oh, wait, what? It did start? Okay. That was weird. I looked in OBS and the timer was not on. That was incredibly bizarre. Okay, false alarm. False alarm, everybody. Don't worry. Let's pretend that didn't happen. We're off to a great start already. Deep breaths. Okay. So once we get through this loading screen again, we are gonna be good to go. Because for some reason, yeah, live split wasn't working with the timer, but it was going on my desktop. Like, okay, I'm loaded in, I see the timer going, and it is going on OBS. Okay, good to know, good to know. But yeah, let's get into the game. Okay, so first of all, it's the tutorial. The Toilet Nader, who is basically the joke villain, has kidnapped or apprehended all of our comrades. If you're not familiar with Kids Next Door, it's basically about a bunch of kids who fight adult tyranny, and here we are. An adult supervillain has gotten into our high-tech treehouse, and we have got to show him that that's not okay to do. So he's basically just going to be the tutorial boss here. And, oh dear, he's going to hit me off the back of that, isn't he? And we did not get the good RNG. Now we're just going to try and not get hit so we don't get the health tutorial. And then we just pretty much just get right up in his face, use these super attacks that the game just told us about as shotguns, essentially. Now jump back, get the rainbow monkeys, which are essentially like coins in this game. Like little stuffed animals. And once we pick up all of these, we'll be out of the tutorial. And just get this last one, and yes. A 1 minute flat, which is not bad at all. Could be better if we'd gotten better RNG. Plug that into the time calculator so that we can add up all of our in-game times. And we're going to be moving on to the next level, Operation V.I.D.E.O.G.A.M.E, in which number one has to go and investigate the evil Grandma Stuffum who's taken control of the local donut shop and is going to put gross shit in the donuts. I gave up halfway through that sentence on trying to make that sound compelling as a narrative. But yeah, that's what we're going to be doing for this next level. And we're basically going to be playing as the same character we just saw, but in a longer level. You get to play as all 5 members of the Kids Next Door, of Sector V, rather, in this game. But it's pretty front-loaded with number one's stuff. This is our main sort of mode of movement whenever we can find a moment for it. It's like Ocarina of Time or Ratchet of Clank, where we just got to be side-jumping around everywhere. But this game is very generous with how you lock onto stuff. Oh, by the way, first skip coming up. Kids Next Door Operation Wall. Wonky alignment lowers length. And it won't let me in the wall. Let me in the wall. Oh, we're in the wall. So yeah, pretty much there's a bit where that wall doesn't quite work, so we just sort of wiggle on through it and we skip a bunch of enemy encounters, a tutorial on how to use these, we skip a cutscene, and we also stop the fire traps that normally are in this area from spawning. Actually, I do this skip so much that I forgot those fire traps were even in the game until I watched a friend playing this game the other day. And now I've got to climb up some donuts. This game is just going at a mile a minute, I know. I've got to climb up the donuts, and these donuts are very finicky. Someone's pinging me on Discord. I hope that doesn't show up on the stream. It shouldn't do. I don't have Discord captured in any way. But anyway, yeah, these donuts are very finicky, because you have to stand in the middle in order to trigger the next donut to rise up, and sometimes they do not want to be noticed, these donuts. They don't notice that you're on them. Now we're coming up to this fan room where we've got to turn the switch on to activate the giant fan, and then use it to propel ourselves all the way up to the top where there's a switch that'll open the door we need to get through. The strafe jumps are a little bit awkward, but still, if you can get them working, then they really get you going. Now this is mostly, it's half prediction, half reaction here. So like there, I saw the platform was in a place where we wouldn't really be able to jump to it. Oh, I've messed it up. Okay. Okay, salvaged. I really thought that was going to go wrong, but yeah, it's half prediction and half just jumping up and hoping that the platforms are being cooperative. Like here, they're being very cooperative. This is a pretty slick... Okay, missed that one. This is a pretty slick fan segment. Normally, you see those, like, sort of planks of wood that are lying around. Those are called spare parts, where if we can collect enough spare parts of 2x4 technology, then we get a new weapon. In some stages, we don't really bother getting the new weapon, but in a lot of stages, it's going to be pretty necessary in order to be able to do enough damage to the enemies and the end-of-level boss to get through in a timely fashion. But for this level, we don't need it. And also for the next level, but those are the only ones, really, where we're going to be skipping that. You don't necessarily need to do side jumps. You can do those backwards jumps like I was just doing, just the animation's a bit longer, so you're sort of locked into your movement more. Okay, grab the ledge, do the zipline. And now we are in, if you couldn't hear what number one was saying, we are in a river of pure donut batter. And there's these horrible donut batter men that are coming up to attack us. And these guys are annoying just because they have very long-range and accurate projectile attacks, as do these lunch ladies, actually. So this is a very annoying segment to get through, because taking damage, you pretty much get locked in place for a reasonably lengthy animation that kills all your momentum. It's very frustrating to take damage in this game. But so far, we're doing pretty good here. Oh, camera? Camera? Okay, okay, calm down. Calm down there a moment, camera. Just open the next door, and we're going to be coming up on the boss of the level in just a little bit, but the boss takes a good while to get through. So don't think this is a quick level. The average level in this game averages between, I want to say, about 8 to 11 minutes. That sounds about right, yeah. Did not have to go for the ledge grab there. That's slightly suboptimal. Anyway, more side flips. We got hit. I'm going to pick up the health just to be safe, because sometimes the boss fight can go pretty heavily wrong. And now, just get some more backflips. Going through here, we want to trigger the boss fight as soon as possible, because the means by which the boss becomes vulnerable are on a timer from when the boss first spawns. So activating the boss as soon as possible means doing damage to it as soon as possible. Now we're going to go over here and just wait by this switch for reasons that you'll see in a moment. Just going to wait. Just going to wait this one out. And you see there's that donut jelly that's like pumping into the tank. We're dropping a donut here as bait. Number one's kind of explaining it. Basically, we got to drop the boss in the hole, and then fill the hole full of donut jelly to strip the shield. I know, it makes perfect sense. That's just how shields work in real life. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That should be enough to get us over here, and indeed it is. Boss goes in the hole. I'm running this through Steam, so there might occasionally be Steam pop-ups. I hadn't considered that. Oh dear, that was not something I thought about. Oh, that's gonna be fun to watch back on the VOD. Anyway. Too late for that now. We've already restarted the run once. Take out those enemies. Dodge the attacks. And we now just do it again, and once we do this 3 times, the boss will be done. The good thing is we don't have to worry about the boss's attacks all that much, because the moment we drop this donut down, the boss's location is going to be reset. We don't have to, like, wait for it to meander over to the donut, it's just going to instantly be there. Two, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. About 8 or 9 side flips gets you there. And we've been hit there. We've been hit twice. Thankfully, if you're in the button pressing animation, then you can't be taken out of it by any attacks. I think after I'm done with this level, I'm gonna go offline on Steam, just in case any more friend prompts pop up. Thankfully, with how long the loading screens are, I have time to do that. Oh dear. And just for marathon safety, I am gonna go and get this health, even though it means we're gonna lose a bit of time having to run back to the button. I do not want to die on this boss. Lock on, please, number 1. There we go. Good bit of recovery movement. Three, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Where's the button? Oh god. The downside to doing that strategy is the button is like behind the camera or like not visible on the camera, so it's a bit difficult to know where you're going. Ow. How dare you do this to me? Lock onto the boss, and now we just gotta pretty much just do the last bit of damage, and then the fight will be over, and the level will be over. Ow. And there we go, okay. Now we get our end of level time, key it into the calculator, and we're good to go. 8:26, that is not bad at all. And now up next you've got Operation V.I.D.E.O.G.A.M.E, where number 5 takes on the common cold. And pretty immediately we're going to have Kids Next Door Operation Yeet. Youth Expertly Evades Tutorial. There you go, went offline on Steam. And you're going to see Operation Yeet pretty quickly. I really hope I get it, because I have... It's an easy trick, but I have ruined it before. Okay, so... Jump. There we go. And that is the first half of the level completely skipped. If you... Go back and watch one of my old world record runs, and you will see how we used to do that. And it took... Oh. Did not want to take damage there, but it's fine. Normally we only do 1 damage boost. Just gotta be a bit careful. Might die here, but it's not too bad, considering we just got a checkpoint. I'm gonna get the health. Yeah, the common cold, the villain of this stage, if you couldn't tell, is a snot, boogers, and general illness-themed villain. And he is, given the treehouse, a bad case of the sniffles. So we've got to fight our way through and deal with it. Now, normally there's a puzzle we're supposed to do here involving weaving in and out of the lights, but instead we're going to do Kids Next Door Operation Disco. Door impeccably sidelined, causing omittance. Where basically we're going to go up to this door, and if I can get the angle right, then... Zoop, and we're good. That's basically the second half of the stage, completely skipped. This is the shortest stage in the run, aside from the tutorial. Let's wait for that. We could have damage boosted through there, but I didn't feel like it. Grab the health. This run starts off seeming like really fast and pacey, but trust me, it slows down a bit after this, annoyingly so. And now we've just got to fight these enemies, and then this will be the stage over. Normally these enemies take 6 hits to kill, but for some reason if you use this jump attack, they die in 1 hit. No other enemy behaves like this in the game, but it makes this level a lot easier. Ow. You want to try and get both of those guys at the same time, but we didn't, doesn't matter. Now we hit this switch and the level's going to be over. 232, I think that's a tie for my PB for that level. Which is very nice. And up next we have Operation Snot Bomber, where now we're going to be going directly after the Common Cold himself. And remember when I said that the game slows down considerably after those 2 levels? Well, you'll see why in just a second. Yep. It's a shmup level! Yay! So yeah, this is basically an auto-scroller. There's 3 of these levels in the run. One that takes about 10 minutes, one that takes about 6 minutes, and one that you'll see when we get there. So yeah, in this they're pretty much just teaching us to use the smart bomb attack, the chicken soup explosion, which gets changed to like a generic explosion in the later levels, but I keep calling it the chicken soup because it's funnier. Now, yeah, this is pretty much just like a break in the run. Like if you've ever watched a Nier Automata run, when they get to like the giant boss in the sea, which is like a shmup segment, and they pretty much just chill for like 15 minutes. That's what these levels are in the run. And I realized I'm supposed to have a chicken soup saved up for this next bit of the level, so I am gonna do that. Oh, okay, almost messed that up. And here the Common Cold's gonna show up. Give us a bit of grief, but if we use a chicken soup, we will be able to get him off the screen faster. Just a little faster, not too much, only saves a couple of seconds, but a time save's a time save. I think we might have done it a bit too early, so it didn't quite work, but it only saves about 2 or 3 seconds. So I am not too fussed about it, but now we don't have to use any more chicken soups until the boss, which is good because you might have noticed when we use them, the game slows down a bit. Those actually add up. A run where you spam the chicken soup, like whenever it's available, versus a run where you never use it, is about between 5 and 10 seconds time difference. It's ridiculous how much it can actually add up. I should also mention, for transparency's sake, just while I'm here, that I am doing this run on an emulator. Normally I'd run on console. The only reason I'm running it on emulator today is because yesterday both my PS2s conked out. One of them doesn't want to be picked up by the capture card, and the other one doesn't want to read discs, so I am in quite the predicament. Don't worry about the common call, by the way, that was just on the screen. We don't need to get him off screen any faster. We're collecting the rainbow monkeys here, so it just said secret unlocked. Normally the rainbow monkeys do not do anything. They just, They just unlock, like, bonus content, essentially. So yeah, that's it. That's about everything I've had to say about this level, and now... just gonna chill. Smooth sailing. Gotta love that music looping. The funny thing about the music in these levels normally is whenever I do runs on my own channel, or like I play by myself, I don't have the dialogue on. I turn that down in the options. But when you do this level, or I think when you do just any level, the music lowers in volume to play dialogue, but even when the dialogue is muted, it just means the in-game music gets a little bit quieter for no reason. This is what I do with my life. What you're watching right now, this is the game I've been playing for the last, like, most of this year. I have been finding skips in this game by myself. Like, I mean, that's not really fair to say. We had a Discord early on that was a huge help. I mean, I didn't decide, like, on my own to run this game. I saw the Discord. Noctre and BJ Mashed Potato. I hope I'm pronouncing their names correctly. And my guy Silo Simon, who is currently the world record holder in Shrek Extra Large, big shout out to him. Those guys, like, were what got me interested in running this game and what got me properly looking for glitches. I mean, I'd played it as a kid, so I knew more or less the stuff that happens in it, but I'd never considered speedrunning it, and then I started finding stuff. So, like, I found Disco Skip pretty much, like, within the first week of starting to run the game. And, so yeah, pretty much as that happened, I got more and more interested in this as a speed game. I've been taking the time lower. I'm just trying to find things to talk about that aren't the game, because there's nothing in the game at the moment. The only areas you can, pretty much the only areas you can gain or lose time in these shmup levels is on the bosses. And the boss is not going to be for another little bit. I think there's one more area after this, like, rolling city, and then it's the boss. But this rolling city area is the longest one in the level by a good solid margin. Enjoy number 2's dialogue. I know I am. That's actually one of the cool things about this game, is regardless of how good it is as a game, because it's not very good. I mean, even I have warmed to the game, but even I will admit it's pretty janky. But the cool thing is, they managed to get everyone back from the show. They got the art style translated over really well to 3D. There's a lot of cool stuff in this game on, like, a presentation level. So, yeah, now it's pretty much just this last level. Oh, one other thing I should mention just about the shooting mechanics is, I don't know if you can hear, like, my buttons clicking into the microphone. That's something people, like, occasionally complain about when I stream. But what I'm doing is constantly repressing the fire button, because if you just hold the button down, then eventually you stop shooting. So pretty much whenever I've got a free moment, I'm repressing the fire button to make sure that my bullets never, like, falter. That sounds like something that you hear, like, an edgy MOBA character say, "My bullets never falter," when they use, like, their E that puts a slow debuff on the enemy support. And I'm sure some commentator somewhere is getting super hype about it. Digital sports. Anyway, This is going to be the last area of the level coming up. There's going to be a few more enemies, and then we will have to fight the Common Cold himself. Okay. In this first phase, he's only vulnerable on the engines, and in the second phase, he'll only be vulnerable to the chicken soup attack. So you see there, the engine's already smoking. That's because that means we're doing a good job. Yeah. Now, if we can get this down before the tutorial prompt comes up, yes, got tutorial this. Normally, after a while, it comes up with a message that says, shoot the engines, and the fact that we didn't see that means that we did very good there in terms of DPS. So yeah, now we've pretty much just got to dodge these shots that will instantly strip our shield. And then, press triangle when the meter's full, essentially, is what it comes down to. If we stay at the foreground, like as far to the front as possible, then after we dodge, we'll have more room to move back and absorb as many of the shots as possible. Because see, stuff like there, we missed one, and it meant we had to go for an extra cycle, so that was a bit of a time loss there. Who is pinging me on my phone? I just heard off to the side, I just hear it. Why do they call it silent when you can hear the sound of the vibrations from, like, across the world? I never understood that. Anyway, about one more of these should do it? Yeah. If this is a sub 1020, then that means we did our job, right? And we had a good run. 10-11, not bad at all. Sorry if you have no idea what's going on in this game, because we skip all the cutscenes anyway. There is a story. I don't know what it is, but there's a story. Anyway, next level, this is Operation Spank Happy, where it's late at night in the treehouse, and the evil Count Spankulot has showed up. He's a vampire, but instead of drinking blood, he spanks children. It was a different time. And he's turned all of our friends into spanky vampires, and we, as number 4, we got lucky and missed out because we were on the toilet, and now we've got to beat the shit out of our friends until they turn back to normal. I just realized I have another timer up. I hope that means it hasn't been updating on OBS. I hope that doesn't mean, rather. Yeah, we're at 25 minutes real time, which is pretty good. We're at 22 minutes in-game time on my time calculator. And I attacked the wrong enemy without even thinking about it. Normally you want to get ones on the outside there so that the remaining two can group up easier. Now we just wait for these enemies to come down. And I see, look, grouping up. Number 4's punches have a good, like, AoE to them. They have a good, like, cleave on them. Now, normally what we're doing in this level is we're trying to get to number 4's room so we can assemble the pieces of the Splanker, which is like a spanking gun, essentially, so that we can anti-vampire our friends. But, you'll see in a little bit why we're not going to do that. Well, first things first, we've got to deal with these enemies. These are like just random security robots. We would have seen them in Boogification if we'd messed up the lighting puzzle, but we didn't even do the lighting puzzle, so it's a non-factor. Ow, I did not see you there. We cut off that guy's laser attack. Mr. Man, thank you. Get the health. Doors open. I'm getting stuck on things I shouldn't be. Movement is suboptimal so far in this level. The thing about the melee characters is their jump attacks are not quite as fast as side jumping. Well, with number 5s it is, but with number 4s it's noticeably faster. It's the only kind of movement in the game, except for like the glitchy movement we did in V.I.D.E.O.G.A.M.E for disco skip. That's those two are the only kind of movements faster. Anyway, now this is where we're supposed to assemble the Splanker and fight 3 mini-bosses, but instead we're going to do Operation Vampire. Very aggravating mini-bosses past, implementing unreliable hole. And you'll see why we call it the unreliable hole in just a moment, because if the camera pans over to it, I guess the camera's not going to pan over to it in this grand cinematic shot. I'll show you when we get to the unreliable hole. It's going to tell us about the jump pads. We sort of care, but not really. I went in the wrong direction. Not entirely sure what happened there, but anyway. Climb this tree. On the branch. Kill this guy, because he's going to mess with our lock-ons. We need to get a lock-on in a good angle. And now this is the hole. This is the unreliable hole. We're just going to get a good angle. Sidewalk backwards into the door. Come on. No. There we go. Pretty seamless. Now, when we called that the unreliable hole, that we had an old setup for that skip that was super inconsistent. Like, you pretty much just held back into the door and hoped you got in. And you could be there for like 5 minutes at a time and you wouldn't get it. Anyway, this is the boss of the level. We're supposed to have, as I say, the Splanker for this, but if we use charge attacks, then we actually can do more damage because we can get multi-hits there because the hitboxes are a little wonky. Oh, that's never happened before, okay. And that is the first time I've gotten the 2-cycle there in a while. Wow, I'm impressed by that. What's the time on this going to be? 4:11. My best on that is a 4:03, which I have just become convinced at this point I will never, ever be able to match. But I'll take it. And up next, we've got the final new member of the KND, number 3, in Operation Hamsterama. Which, at the start of this level, we're going to see Kids Next Door Operation Space. Speed Preventer accessed crazy early. Now, this is the skip I practiced the least, so I hope I get it. First things first, we're going to get this hamster and slam our face on this pipe. Sorry about this dialogue. This is just something you have to... This is just an occupational hazard. Come on. And... Can we get into the void, please? We just pretty much jam our heads onto this pipe. And we pop out into the void. And now we use our glide move, and we're pretty much just going to get halfway across the level with this. But this isn't as big a skip as it sounds, because the devs for this level and a few others, they took great care to make sure that you do all the objectives. Like, there's a way to glitch into the spot where the loading zone is in this next room we're flying to, and you can stand in the loading zone, but it won't activate until you do the rest of the level. Even if you activate this room by clearing all the previous rooms, you have to clear this room to make the loading zone work. But what we can do while we're here is get the gun. Take the fall damage. That's important because we're going to be doing a death warp after we've collected these 2x4 technology bits. I think this is actually the first level where we have to get these, aside from Snot Bomber, the first regular level. So we're going to get those boxes. Don't have collision. For some reason, I always forget that. And then we get this. And we have the Frappe. See what I mean about the acronyms? So basically now we have the weaponized ice coffee machine. And now we're going to throw ourselves off this ledge a bunch until we get a bruise on our ankle and we have to go back to the start of the level for a plaster. But doing that means that we can play the entire level with the freeze gun, which allows us to freeze the hamsters we're supposed to catch. Because at this point, after we cleared out Count Spankulot, the treehouse is powered by hamsters on a bunch of hamster wheels, and they've all escaped, and number 3 is the only one who can be bothered to go and collect them all. Nobody else has the energy for this. So yeah, now we're going to actually play through the level. All that stuff that we just did, it doesn't add up to be a whole lot faster, but it makes the level a whole lot more consistent than hoping the hamster AI cooperates, because they're standing still here, but in other parts of the level, they are not nearly as cooperative. And there is a fastest route for this, but I can never commit it to memory, so I'm just going to have to hope that I get this right. Right, 5... 6, 7, 8, 9 will be over here. I'm going to get this one first. That'll be 10. Oh, no, we can't get to that one now. So, okay, yeah, 7, 8, 9. Get over this one. 10. 11. 12, 13, 14, and there's one right by the door, which will be the one that lets us out of here. You have to collect a certain number of hamsters in each room in order to get through. Number 3's levels are probably the most boring in the game, but eh. What speed game doesn't have at least a few lulls? At least a few ebbs and flows, as it were. And you see what I mean about, normally the hamsters are moving. Now, if we were doing this level normally, they'd be running away and we'd have to, like, catch them. I found a bit of tech early on where if you were in the air before they noticed you, then their AI would not react until you touched the ground. So we used to basically just death from above under these hamster crowds. Oh, see what I mean? That's what I was saying earlier about the lock-on being very generous with how far away you have to be before you lock onto something. But there, see, we just did that. We just mashed square a bunch of times, and we did the area. Pretty much for free. And now we're pretty much going to do the same thing in this area. Normally we just have to, like, hope and pray that the hamsters landed on top of us. Again, I apologize for the dialogue. Occupational hazard. Don't worry about getting the wrong angle for the side flips here. There are invisible walls on the side of those catwalks. Oh. Caught on a door jam. Finding a perfect, like, straight angle in some of these areas is annoyingly difficult. We're not going to go for the super energy here just because we don't need it. And I'm actually going to leave a hamster or two over here just so that we can get it on the way back. Actually, no, that doesn't make any sense. Why did every time I do this level, I always think that it would be faster to leave a hamster there on the way back. Because we have to come back here anyway, because the rest of the hamsters are, like, on the upper level. And now this dude's just further away, so that was completely pointless. Every time I've done this level where I haven't done that, I've thought that that would be faster, but now that I've actually done it, I've realized it makes no sense at all, and I'm just a moron. I forgot to tell anyone on Twitter as well that I was doing this run. Oh dear. I was not thinking straight today. I'm very tired. Anyway, got the hamsters. Elevator's active. That's where the loading zone normally is for this area that takes us to, like, the last half of the level. And we are able to glitch into that tree and stand inside of that area, but until we complete that room, it refuses to activate. If there was a way to get that to activate, then we would skip about 6 minutes of game, and it would be easily the biggest skip in the run. Number 4's saying what we're all feeling. Okay. Got stuck in the wall. That's never happened before. Learn something new every day. I love this dramatic music while we're, like, just catching hamsters. They use this music a lot in the game. In fact, I'm pretty sure it plays on, like, the level complete screen for the very last level in the game. Like, the last thing you hear in the game before, like, the final cutscene in the credits is that music. You can occasionally just, like, fit your head under these, but occasionally not, so I like to play it safe and jump over them. And now that's the final room, where even with the freeze ray, the hamsters are going to be so spread out and moving constantly that this is pure RNG as to whether or not you get a bunch of hamsters in one area, if they cooperate, if they don't. This level sucks, basically. Okay, there's about 4 of them right off the bat. Okay, we're getting pretty cooperative hamsters so far. None in this area. There's a couple over here that just left. And this is what we used to have to do, was just glide in the air and hope that their AI didn't activate. And we're about half... I think it's when we get either 13 or 14, we're gonna get, like, a little cutscene playing. Yeah, this one, which is intending to show us that, like, the rest of the hamsters are up. That hamster wheel is having some trubs over there. I'm gonna assume that's just an emulator bug, because normally when I do a full run on console, that doesn't happen. I've never noticed that before. Emulators. Your lock-on snaps onto one, and the next thing you know, it's off the spring. It's gone. You, get back here. Ugh, come on. The second section, I hate it. I'm not even gonna get over. Okay, we're nearing the end. Come on. Where are these boys? I think, is this 2 of them? That's just the one. Oh, what the? You're just all chilling in the corner? 10:54. Okay, at least we got a halfway. Actually, was that halfway? I don't remember what my best time was for that level. I don't know what to compare against. Anyway, now we're on. Okay, you might have thought that was the worst level of the run. This is the actual worst level of the run, because it can kill your run basically just because it feels like it. This is the second Count Spankulot level. Number 1's going after him. And both of these suburban levels, we're going to see another one later with number 3. Neither of them are very good. So basically, what we've got to do is... It gives us a little tutorial there, where basically... We've got to use these bug zappers... And then these dudes run into the light, and we can take them out, because they're vampires. Well, you get back here. I'm just going to lead you over here. I've got to be over here anyway. We've got a different weapon, because pretty much every level you play as a character, it'll start the next level with the upgraded weapon from their last level, if that makes sense. So if we'd gotten all the upgrade bits in Donutty, then we would have had this weapon, the Gum-Zuka, which is basically... It has the same DPS as the regular mustard gun we were using, except with ricocheting bullets. So we didn't bother going for it. But the next upgraded gun after this, the Scamp, we desperately need, because the charge shot will one-shot the big enemies that we need to take out in order to do the objectives. Whereas the charge shot on the Gum-Zuka just kind of does a little bit of damage. So we're going to go around, get all the parts on this roof. Now go over here. Got max capacity. Dodge that. Oh, no. Okay, now we're on this guy. And we pretty much just have to hope that the bounces are in our favor and that he dies.
Step away from the bottom, you sprite-happy hooligans.
Gotta get the positioning right. Where did he go? Where did you go? That was confusing. I'm not entirely sure what happened there. Either way, you're dead. This level, I tell you, it messes with you. The good thing about these bug zappers is that they make easy lock-on points to be able to strafe jump around, unlike the constantly moving enemies. Now we're gonna have the next weapon as soon as we pick up this next weapon upgrade material in the bush.
Kids next door scam, soup can, and magnified photon phaser.
Photon phaser. You heard it here first, folks. Now we lock onto this guy, and he is just going to get dingled. Like, pretty swiftly. Ironically enough, we took damage in our pursuit of more health. What hubris.
How dare you interfere with the hand of justice being administered to these naughty children? When my minions are through with you, you won't be able to sit down for a week.
Now we're going to get through here, and we can keep moving during that transition, which is odd, to say the least. No other level in the game does that. We don't need to kill this guy, but we are going to need to kill a few extra enemies in this area, in this room, to prevent a soft lock from happening, because sometimes if there's too many enemies loaded in, then the next batch of enemies won't load, which can stop objectives from being able to be completed. So I'm going to use a few extra shots, bringing down some of those guys. At least we use, because we use in-game time, if we get a soft lock, we pretty much just disregard that attempt. Which you might think is not exactly in the spirit of fair play and competition, but it's my speed game, I do what I want, quite frankly. I've lost too many runs to this soft lock to really be fussed about it. Anyway, we killed 3 enemies in there, so we should be fine. If this still soft locks, then I am pretty much just going to give up on this game right now, because I don't understand how it works anymore. But we didn't soft lock, which is very good. Sometimes only one of those enemies, or none of them, spawn, which is not what you want to see, understandably. That's that, basically. Make sure we get the health, and now go for the jumps. Probably could have gone for some more jumps, but I didn't exactly know what was behind me. You never know where an enemy might be. And now once we rescue the last few kids and take out these big enemies, we are going to go into the second half of the level, which is like 3 waves of enemies, followed by the boss fight against Count Spankulot. And there's a loading screen in the middle, which is one of the reasons we moved to in-game time, because in-game time doesn't count those load screens. And, oh god, I'm just gonna make sure that I have this. Normally I would have gone for that shot from further away, so I could just really quickly go and get the super energy. So that's a bit of a time loss, but it doesn't matter too much. So yeah, in-game time doesn't count these load screens, but with real time you'd be like, oh, I'm on a really good pace, and then, oh, loading screen, and then like a cutscene before the boss, and then suddenly you're ahead. You're behind, rather. Basically, real time sucks in this game. Now we're at a clock tower. I'm not sure why. This clock tower was never in the show. There's Count Spankulot himself. He's basically just going to sick his minions on us.
I do get some light down here fast. I'm going to get my butt whooped. Maybe there's a way to switch the
These guys we can take out in more or less any order we like, because their spawns are all on their own timers and are not relative to the enemies being killed. It's the big dudes who spawn in the next few sets of waves, whose spawns are on a timer relative to each other, so you do have to kill those as soon as possible. But these guys you can take at your own pace, essentially. But we're going to take them down pretty quickly, just because we don't want to get swarmed. There's a lot of rainbow monkeys on the ground, but as explained earlier, we're not going to be picking them up, just because we don't need to. It'd be something fun to do, but doesn't serve any practical purpose. And there we go, that's the first wave done. The second and third waves are a bit longer. Can I press the switch, please? Thank you.
Yes, yes, my minions, let no bottom go unspanked.
And there's the big dude spawning. These dudes tend to spawn, like, one after the other pretty quickly in sets of 2. Had a little bit of a flustered moment there. But other than that, smooth sailing. I think this is the last guy. Oh no, there's a couple more. And there's going to be one dude who spawns in, like, this direction that we pretty much just got to wait for now. Come on, get over it. Make sure we've got our backs to the door so we can leave as fast as possible. And there we go. I gotta say, for all my complaining, this has been a decently solid spankerific.
Faster, faster, spank faster, my minions.
Try this on for size.
It's kind of dangerous when they get close to you like that, because you never know. Your shot, they might just, like, run around you, and suddenly you turn around, like, 270 degrees, and your shot completely whiffs. It's dangerous.
You're starting to irritate me.
We've taken out 4 of the big dudes. I think there's 7 in this area. That's how you can sort of measure your progress. The lights do go out once.
Let's see what you think of this.
Oh, okay, 2-for-1 deal. That's never happened before. Okay. Their AI is unpredictable enough that you can't really plan on doing that. And then this guy should be the last one. Super energy is looking dangerously low, but we should ultimately be fine for Spankulot, just because there's a lot of pickups in his arena. There we go. Pretty good. Now, Count Spankula, we have to be at one of two specific ranges from him. Because we have to be either close to him or decently far away. Because if we're at mid-range from him, then he does this kind of, like, spray attack that has a jump in its animation. And if he does that, then he will dodge our super attack and won't take the damage. Normally, we're supposed to, like, turn the spotlights on and be able to damage him with regular attacks, but it's a lot faster to just do it like this. See, that's the attack we don't want to see, because it means we have to use 2 attacks on 1 cycle. Oh, I waited on that attack because I thought he was going to go for the jumping attack. However, if you're like almost point blank, then he'll just try and go for a melee. Again, I thought he was going to do the thing. Anyway, level done. I didn't realize how fast that was going. And we got an 1124, which isn't bad. And now we're coming into the second shmup level, Operation Shipshape.
Kids next door.
And the first thing we're going to want to do here is save up a chicken soup, because rather than concentrating our, like, DPS focus on, like, one large boss, we have to take down 10, like, mid-bosses throughout the level to fix an engine block by obtaining pieces of it in the same way we've been obtaining the 2x4 weapon parts. So pretty much every time there's a, yeah, pretty much every time one of those big pirate ships shows up, we've got to have a chicken soup ready for it to be able to DPS it down as quickly as possible. Which is partly why, which is more or less why I'm being hesitant to take out some of these enemies. Just because I want to make sure that I have enough energy.
Full speed ahead, number 2. We can't let these pirates keep us from capturing Sticky here.
There we go. Sometimes I'm a little bit off on that guy, but I managed to be in the right place to attack him that time. On some attempts, rather. Just because my eyes don't work as good as they used to. I'm mostly blind in one eye. I don't have that there depth perception. You youngsters and your depth perception. That I was gonna go somewhere with that, but the moment that sentence left my mouth, I was just like, this bit is not worth committing to. There we go. We also, you'll notice our shield has like an energy bar at the side. We can't just use the shield forever. That would be busted. So, instead we have to just like, pay attention and make sure we're not absorbing too much, because otherwise we will start taking damage. Now, we're not going to immediately use the chicken soup on this guy, because another ship is going to spawn, and we don't want to, and we want to get efficiency. There we go, see? So now we get this, and then we're going to pretty much instantly move over to this guy. Efficiency. So yeah, this is shorter than the previous shmup level, but it's still like a good cool-down zen moment in the run to just chill. And the stronger our weapons get, the easier it's going to be to take out these ships. We're coming up on the 1 hour mark in real time, which is pretty impressive considering normally by this point in real time we'd be about an hour 5, an hour 10. Operation the Yeet skip at the start of Boogification, that's been a big help, because I haven't used that skip in a run yet. I just found that skip like 3 days ago. So this run could very probably be a sub 140 in-game time, because we were all my last PB was like a very low 152. And that already had a bunch of mistakes, so I was thinking sub 150 could be possible. But with that new skip saving as much time as it does, it's kind of a gimme. So unless we horribly mess up this run, we're going to be hitting a milestone. Now we have homing rockets. These things are worth their weight in happiness. I didn't see how many engine blocks you're on. I think that was the 9th one, but the 10th one spawns on this side, so I'm gonna wait here. There it is. And that did not cooperate nearly as well as it normally does. And we got a 608, which is about as well as that normally goes, right as we break the hour mark. And we've got Operation Shipshape next, where basically that whole time we've been fighting a new villain, Sticky Beard, who is a pirate who steals candy, and now number 5 is going onto the ship to show him that that's not okay to do. And to do that, we've got to play a stealth level, because of course we do. What's the difference between a stealth level and a regular level? The enemies do more damage, and if they haven't seen us yet, then we smash them in one hit from the back. Ow. I got locked in an animation there. That guy shouldn't have hit us. But whatever.
Why can't people just share their candy? Man, that was too easy.
Oh, okay. Oh, it's all gone wrong. It has all gone wrong. Normally that guy's supposed to be a stealth kill. It's all gone wrong. Are these people? They've still noticed us. Oh dear. Oh dear. Okay, sort of salvaged it, but we're on less health than we'd like. At least we have a checkpoint. Get the super energy pickup. That was annoying that happened. Oh, this guy's gonna notice us. We got a bad timing on him. Get out of the way! And we died. That just happens sometimes. Now we don't have any super energy. I hope we can go back and get some. And no, we can't. Okay, now this is a problem. There's never been one over there before. This dude saw us, really? Whatever, not gonna use any energy on him. This dude, really? Oh, we are getting the worst luck today. Get out of my way. Okay, salvaged. These dudes did not notice any of the commotion. And now we have a short platforming section, and then there's going to be another stealth section once we get up and done with this. Can we? Oh! That's cool. Those are on a global timer. Pretty much every like, moving element in any stage is on a global timer. Like, in Boogification, those lasers, global timer, and a bunch of other stuff. But if it's a moving element in a stage, global timer. As soon as you load in. We're a little low on super energy, but it shouldn't be that big of a deal. There's, like, no health pickups in this stage until the, until we get down below onto, like, the big deck fight. So that's an issue. Take out this guy. Wait for these guys to do the walkabout. They always do that. That guy, he turns around at the last minute. I hate when they do that. Oh well. Wait for this guy to shimmy about a little bit. Kick his friend. Kick his other friend. Kick both of these fools. Get the energy, please. Into the hole, and at last, we get some health. Whew.
Number 5. Oh, man. You mean number 5's gotta fight all these candy pirates by herself just to get old sticky butt off the ship? Okay, there's the crew bus. Now I just gotta... What the? More candy pirates? Man, don't these guys get shore leave at some point?
Ow. Game dropped my input for a super. That was lovely. We double hit that guy, apparently. Sometimes you just... When you use a super, you just hit enemies twice. I mean, we saw it with number 4, but he's the only character that can do it reliably. Ow.
Alright, just a couple more of these sugar-coated creeps to deal with and it's all good.
This guy's gonna turn around, he's gonna see us. Yep. That's annoying. And didn't want to use any energy on him. That health bar at the bottom, by the way, that was basically a timer for the, for our friends in the cool bus. In the ship, rather. They were being shot down, and we were taking out the guys on the cannons, who thankfully couldn't see us no matter what we did. Now we've got to ride up and down some boxes, and then we'll be taken to the fight with Candy Pirate Mark Hamill. Because yes, that has been Mark Hamill the entire time, but we haven't been able to hear any of his dialogue because it's all skippable except for like 1 or 2 lines you might hear during the boss fight. Ugh. You heard like a little bit of him there. Now the door on the other side opens, that'll take us to him. Now Sticky Beard is the main point of RNG in the run. His boss fight can either go really, really good or really, really bad, but we can minimize some of it with Kids Next Door Operation Pirate. Pretty irritating randomness avoided terribly easily. Because here's the thing. Number 5 has a second... Well, the melee characters, they have a second attack on triangle. But for both characters, it's pretty much only usable for one exploit in their final stages. So we're going to see number 4 get one as well. But for number 5, when we use the charge attack for the triangle button on the Sticky Beard, it lets us skip a cycle. You'll see what I mean. Oh, okay. What? Oh, okay. This is a glitch I got once in practice and have never been able to get again. I have no idea how to do this glitch, but I guess it works. I just assumed that glitch was a freak accident. Oh, okay, now I have that on video. 6:49, hell yes. Man, I was about to explain that fight and everything, but then the game said no, here you go. Okay, so what happened there was... What's supposed to happen in that... Ow, stop banging my phone against the mic stand. What's supposed to happen in that fight is, you break the boxes, and one of them has, like, a super rare candy in it. He dives for it, and then we smack his exposed ass. And normally, while he's lost in the source, if we use the triangle attack on the second phase, then we can skip a cycle for whatever reason. The game just forgets to reset. But that time, if you spawn and the candy is immediately in the first box, he'll instantly jump for it, but forget that, like, the fight has started, and he'll instantly go into the mode he normally goes into when you get close to him, which is the melee form that you saw him doing melee attacks. Normally he does that if you get too close to him. But I guess the game just forgot that he's not supposed to take damage? So we were able to just wail on him and win? That is incredibly good RNG. I assume that that is what happens there. Because, as I say, it happened to me once before in practice, and I didn't get it on video. So I was endlessly wondering how you do that glitch. So that's a first by a considerable margin. Oh, man, that's going to be a fun split to run against. Anyway, in this level, in the level we're actually doing, we're playing as number 3 again, and the villain now is Nightbrace, played by Tom Kenny, who also played the Common Cold, and he is like an evil dentist, basically, and his latest scheme is he's made a toothpaste that's, like, bioluminescent. It, like, glows on kids' teeth so that their parents know when they've brushed, except it's made from mashed up fireflies. And number 3, the animal lover, does not like that, so I've got to go around rescuing the fireflies. A microwave-powered rifle that fires teddy bears. Yes. That's the kind of tech we're dealing with here.
They do what? Well, that's not very nice. But I don't have any weapons, so I guess we'll just have to stay away from those zombie things together.
Even though we already have the gun. We do have weapons, number 3. So yeah, basically, get 8 fireflies. We can only carry 4 at a time. Get 8 in each area, progress to the next area. Now, we've got to take out these dudes, the boy, like, zombies, I guess. Yeah, I guess you call them they are the boy ones. Because they have, like, a shiny teeth attack, which will instantly vaporize your fireflies and send them back to where they were. Because that's another thing, these fireflies, because they're attracted to the light, and then if they go towards the light, they get zapped. That's why there's these bug zappers around. We've got to stay away from those, otherwise our fireflies get zapped, and we've got to go pick them up again.
Hello, pretty firefly. I'm here to rescue you.
Man, if we hadn't had that death on Shipshape, that would have been, like, ridiculously good. Oh. And there's going to be a dude sneaking around the corner here, but we say no. We're not putting up with your nonsense today, Mr. Burgundy. this one. Some of them respawn, and by respawn I mean they just get back up again and you can't kill them. So that's annoying, but for the most part we don't have to deal with that. It's only in the next level where they show up, which is the final number 1 level, that we have to do that. Oh, by the way, that last level we just played, that was... Wait, where did I went the wrong way. Do I have... Okay, yeah, that is 4 Firefly. I got confused for just a second. But yeah, the last level we did was like the final level we're gonna play as number 5 in. This is the final level we're playing as number 3. We're coming towards like the final third of the game. Because there's... Hang on, let me think. 1, 2, 3... Yeah, there's 14 levels. But the last 2 are a shmup level and and just a boss fight, so... If you look at just the, like, the main character levels, then we have just entered the final third of the game. Because this is stage, I believe, number 9. Yeah, there's a tutorial, Boogification... No, wait, no, Donati. So Boogification's level 3. 4, 5, 6... 7, 8, 9. Yeah, this is level... I don't know how to count. I've got too much to think about. Now this isn't the time to count. Oh dear. Who is messaging me? Skip the dialogue. Oh, thanks. I was just the host getting me a clip of the glitch. Thank you very much. I'm gonna need to show that to some people, because that is... I'm just glad I have video of that, and I know that, like, I'm not crazy. Music's decent in this game. It fits with the theme, it fits with the feel of the show. In fact, to the point that I'm half convinced that some of it is just, like, production music from the show. Or, like, from the score or whatever. I don't know what the word you'd use is. Get onto this. Boing. Normally we take damage there, but we didn't, so that's pretty fortunate. And another loading screen. Ooh. Ooh. It's like 10:30 in the evening. I've got somewhere to be tomorrow. Ugh. Hell of a day. Hell of a day. I've still got some pizza here. I'm gonna eat some cold pizza. Mmm. Mmm. Cold pizza. Now in this area, well, number 3 can explain it. Oh, okay. Went in the wrong direction. Now, normally we'd want to, like, go up on, like, the upper catwalks to get through there, but it turns out we can just kind of smush through the corner there, which saves a little bit of time in terms of travel. That was I just discovered that, like, yesterday. Always finding out new things about this game.
You don't need to
But you gotta, like, smush your face in there first, because otherwise the Fireflies have a habit of not noticing what's happened, and you'll end up either, like, missing one, and then you'll end up at the end of the level where it will say, like, 31 out of 32, and you'll be very, very confused. That's happened to me in a number of practice runs.
you're
24, yes.
I couldn't have done it without you, you cute little glowy fireflies.
Ow. Oh, I thought we missed one there and we'd have to go for, like, another lap. But thankfully not. Ow. There we go. Da-da-da-da-da-ba-ba. At a 952, which is very, very good if I remember rightly. I think my best for that level is a 959. So that was actually really good. Damn it, stop messaging me, people. Anyway, now that we've done that, we've got the final number 1 level where we tail Nightbrace back to his lair. And we go and confront him. Get the weapon upgrade piece, so there we go.
Aha! This must be Nightbrace's main computer. From here, he can control the spread of bug-bite toothpaste throughout the entire world, and only I can stop him.
Now, normally in this level, I'll explain it in a little bit so that I have less dead air when the time comes to actually do the skip. Gonna take down these two. Because when you use a super attack on them, they don't come back to life. Because all of the enemies in the stage, you have to kill them twice. But if you use the super attack, then they will operate normally. And just die. Like, see, we're taking down these enemies, but they'll be back in just a little bit. Sometimes through taking down one of these guys the first time, you can get this computer to activate early, but it's very infrequent. So yeah, normally we're supposed to get these passwords by going to 4 different areas.
Without those passcodes,
These like little mini like jumping and ziplining puzzles and whatnot.
does something.
But what we're actually going to do is Kids Next Door Operation Computer. Cave obstruction mandating passwords utterly tarnished, enabling rapidness. So basically, grab this real quick. And you'll see in a little bit. Remember what we did in Boogification for the disco skip?
I'll have to search all of these side passages until I found
If I can get the angle right. There we go. That's about 5 minutes worth of game just gone. Welcome to Kids Next Door, everybody.
a river of pure fluoride. One wrong step and my entire cavity collection is history.
Yes, instead of lava in this stage, it's a river of mouthwash. Because we really like having cavities, apparently. Now, the damage, getting hit in this stage is, like, more annoying than in any other stage, because falling into this river is, like... It's just super tilting when it happens. Especially because I've had it happen to me in multiple times in a run in the same spot. Take out this person. Ignore these guys, we don't need to take them out, just they're there. Hit the checkpoint. And I'm gonna do the smart thing and kill you before attempting to make that jump, because you have ruined my runs one time too many. We're gonna swing on back here. And we are one weapon upgrade away from getting a rocket launcher that shoots packets of OJ. Ow, you didn't even have an animation, but you hit me anyway. What does that say about me? How does that make me feel? Oh, ow.
Who cares if it tastes bad? It's for kids.
And that's the only trigger for Nightbrace's dialogue that we hit in the entire stage, because it's all in the first half that we'd skipped. So yeah, I have this thing which fires way faster and does a little bit more damage. And the firing faster is going to come in handy when we want to do fast Nightbrace later on, which we don't have a fancy acronym for, because it is just Nightbrace but fast when we do his boss fight. But first, we've got to play Pac-Man.
It appears to have some sort of electromagnetic seal on it. I need to show
Yes, I did just say we've got to play Pac-Man.
Aha! Nightbase must use this control panel to command his Dentadrones. If I can gain control of a drone, I bet I can guide it to short out that circuit.
Use that fake out to make the other drone think that we're going in one direction when we're not. And basically we have to take 5 drones through here and use them to short out the teeth gate. Which is a weird concept when you think about it. I mean, I know it's a dentist villain, but at the same time, like,
Be enough to get it open.
dude, chill. Ah, my head hurts. Why does my head hurt? We probably could have, in fact, yeah, I forgot what, I just brain farted there. That was entirely my bad, but that's what happens if you die in this area. You just pretty much just reset immediately.
Who knew controlling Nightbase's Dentadrones could be so much fun? It's like racing a remote-controlled car.
It's really not that fun, number one. Go do some other things with you. Oh! We bumped that guy in the back, and so we died. This is like the first time in a run I've ever messed this up. But it's not as costly compared to some of the other mistakes I've made on some of my runs of this level. Like, aside from my mistakes, this is a bit, like, aside from some stuff like that, this has been a really good run. Like, I've yet to have a level. I'm gonna stop talking now because I know I'm gonna jinx it. I know I'm gonna get like a terrible Nightbrace, or like one of the next couple of levels is gonna go wrong. I'm gonna like die on the final boss or something. Gonna take out a couple of enemies just because I don't. I want to play it safe here. So I'm gonna die anyway. I'm gonna pretend. Now we're gonna move on. See, you just barely have space. Whoa, whoa, almost did it again. Oh, this game. Sometimes I almost did it again. Play it safe. Okay, calm down, girl. There we go. That was unnecessarily strenuous. Loading screen before the boss. My shirt's blue in this image for some... just stretching. Oh boy. Oh, I'm really tired. Whew. Okay, so Night Brace, we can only attack him from behind, so for the time being we're not going to be able to hit him. He does 2 attacks where we can hit him. One where he, like, spins around with a laser, and one where you'll see it in a sec. And this attack where he gets stuck in the ground.
And I'm getting the cavities drilled out of me. Maybe if I tried attacking Night Brace from behind.
Now this is where fast Night Brace lives or dies. 1, 2. 1, 2. We're not getting it, I don't think. Yeah, no fast Night Brace, sad. Yeah, sometimes on that attack his hitbox just decides it doesn't want to work. I have no idea what causes it, but you have to do a very precise setup to be able to reliably hit him during that attack. And see, we messed it up again. We might even not even be able to get him on this attack. See, sometimes his hitbox just doesn't work. Oh, man. Do not like this Night Brace. Again? Seriously? There we go, jeez. A pretty good level marred by the slowest Night Brace I've ever seen. Come on. 10-13, still respectable. So now we've got the Toilet Nader up next again. He has multiple stages. He's taken over the treehouse with his toilet minions, and as number 4, we've got to punch him up, basically. Well, actually, no, we don't get to punch him. We just... The boss against him is a race, considering as we've already fought him in the run. But we get to punch his horrible toilet paper minions. Let these dudes group up. And that was pretty good. They're not usually that cooperative. Right you are, number 4. Wash them hands. And I am just going to go ahead and fight these guys, because otherwise they'll get in our way when we're trying to move this box. Which we need to do, because we gotta jump on it.
Maybe if I can climb on top of a box or something, then I can find a way to get through that hole.
Ow. There we go. There's some stuff I can show off in this level if we need to, like, kill time, because we're, like, ahead of schedule or something. But none of it is, like, relevant to actually going fast. And I can't be bothered to throw that one. We don't need... We dropped it on some health, but we don't need the health, because there's health right here. Right, fill up on super energy. And here we're going to come across the most horrifying enemy ever conceived for a video game. The Turd Homunculus. I wish I was making this up, but no, if you don't skip that cutscene, number 4 complains about having to fight walking poo. Oh dear. Video games. Anyway, we've got to take out these... This is the other application of the super triangle attack, which is that we can hit those toilets twice. The regular super attack can't do it, which is why we haven't been picking up the weapon parts, because we don't need it. This is faster. You have to get the positioning right. It's a little finicky, but other than that, yeah, it's... Please don't spawn a second one. Sometimes if you kill them before the toilets have gone down, then a second one will spawn. Second one... Oh! Okay, second one did not spawn. Oh, are you joking? Ah, okay, never mind. I really thought we were just, like, frames late, but no, it died. There we go. And that's most of the level, but the hardest part is not done yet. The hardest part is this jump coming up right here, which is deceptive. Very much so. If you hold the stick all the way, you'll go slightly too far and you'll fall. And with my already mentioned issues of depth perception, that's way more difficult than it needs to be. It's so frustrating to have a great level and then miss that jump like 3 times. Oh, get up there. No, talking of missing jumps. Anyway, get the super energy. We've got 2 more toilets to take out to open this door, and then it's the final race against the Toiletnator. And then we're done playing as the normal Kids Next Door characters, except for number 2, but he's a shmup, he doesn't count. Come on. Okay, that was only 1 time, apparently. Just gonna ignore those guys, don't gotta fight them. Sometimes when you're going through that area, you can jump over the trigger for that door to open, which is very confusing when it happens. I always panic because I think the game's broken, but nope, I just missed a bit. And yeah, basically we just gotta now race the Toiletnator up to the bronze toilet at the top of number 4's room. We have the strats though, so we can take care of this pretty easily. You gotta watch out with the jump attacks as number 4, because if you jump attack then land on a bounce pad, then it won't count as having touched the ground, and when you jump again you won't be able to do a number 1. And what was that? A 5:41. Very, very good. I think my best time is a 5:40 dead. So that's very impressive. And if you know anything, if you happen to know what my record time is, then you might think we're on great pace. But not really, because this is a 16-minute auto-scroller. Yeah. This is what they end the game with. So, if anyone's gotta go, like, go use the toilet or something, nothing's happening for a good-ass while. You go do what you gotta do. And you wanna know the worst part? This is a 16-minute auto-scroller, and it's the only one with a skip in it. We could skip a cycle on the boss by bringing a chicken soup in. It's a cruel irony, really. Yeah, I mean, like, normally if I was doing this on stream or something, I'd have, like, someone in the call with me to talk to, but this is the graveyard shift, and you're here, and you're stuck with me, and I can't read the chat because I don't have it open. And I feel like if I stop to open it, I'm going to slow down the emulator, so I don't want to do that. I should probably actually mention what's happening in this level is pretty much every villain we've caught we were about to ship off to the Kids Next Door Arctic prison for, like, evil adults. Except, we saw this in the Sticky Beard cutscene, Kree, who is Number 5's teenage sister, the teenagers are like ninjas that work with the adults in Kids Next Door, has been working with series antagonist's father and the delightful children from down the lane to steal the DNA of the villains, and is going to amalgamate them into one Omega villain. And what we just did there was sort of a little bit of efficiency, save a couple of seconds, by staying in the center of the screen, meaning we were able to get to the scene transition sooner, even if we had to damage boost through it. These guys are arseholes. See, yeah, you saw there, I held the button down for too long, and it stopped my bullets. That's what I was talking about back in Snot Bomber. Yes, there's Planet X. All the way up there. How you doing, Planet X? And yeah, basically we are supposed to be going to the Kids Next Door moon base, but we're also being attacked by sort of offspring ships from the delightful children from down the lane's flying space mega mansion, which, yes, that is what it's called. You'll see it at the end of the level. It's the boss. There was a bullet there, apparently. I should know, because it hit me. This is it. This is the end of the game. This is where we're at. I must say, though, also, looking at the my time calculator with the in-game times, making very, very good time. A couple of months ago, going into Moon Trip sub 130 would have been unheard of. Or, like, it was something I would not have been able to conceive of, but now here we are. And now this is where the end of the level happens. We're going to use a chicken soup, because instead of, like, the meteor transition like last time, it's, we just have, it ends as soon as we take out these enemies. So as soon as this guy goes down, yeah, we don't have to worry about being near the center for the scene transition there. Just killing them sooner ends up saving more time than faffing about trying to get the positioning correct.
There's no telling what those delightful dopes are up to.
Music just cut out there. I'm not entirely sure what happened. These laser dudes are even more arseholes because their laser cannot be absorbed by the shield. So their attacks just end up getting in the way. And I'm not doing nearly enough damage to them. I'm just going to go ahead and use this because I'm annoyed and don't like them. Come on. Once we get one or two more upgrade pieces and the rockets start coming into play, that's when these guys are going to start... There we go. Homing rockets. You know, it's in these last three sections that we're going to have to start watching our health, because The level does actually get pretty hard, so even just playing it normally becomes a bit of a challenge to stay alive. Mostly because of those enemies who keep spawning behind us. The game likes to box you in with lots of like lasers and bullet patterns, and then throw enemies that spawn behind you where you have to physically get out of the way of them. It's not what I would call a pleasant move. Sorry, I'm just thinking about stuff. I probably should have been saying something there. But as was the case with Snot Bomber, there's not a whole lot to say about this level. It's there. It's a level. Cool. Ugh. There's going to be 2 more sections after this one, and then the boss.
What's that blinking? Don't touch that! It's a button. You stay away from buttons.
Nobody trusts number 4, and quite frankly, I don't blame him. This is the guy who tried to spell the word chicken with a 2. Yeah, I watched the show. I know my Kids Next Door trivia. Yeah, I started speedrunning this game out of a genuine appreciation from the show. Not just because I found out nobody else speedran it and I found a copy at CEX for 50p. I bought it out of a genuine mixture of childhood nostalgia and appreciation in my contemporary years. Not just because I'm chasing free world records. Yeah. I'm doing a bit. This is where we're at. I'm just doing bits in the middle of the run. Just making stuff up. God, imagine a speed run where like the runners just get bored and start doing like sketch comedy in the middle of the run. GDQ with Eric Andre. Actually, I'd watch that. I was joking about that concept. I don't know what it would entail, but I'd watch it.
Somebody wake number 5 when we get to the moon.
This is what I was talking about with the enemies that spawn behind you. You gotta get used to what I'm just deciding now to call flash shielding, where like your shield runs out, but you give it a sec to recharge, and then instantly put it right back on just for the bullets that are hitting you. That's what I've just decided now. That's called flash shielding. We're making up tech. That's how bored we are. We're making up tech. You heard it here first, folks. Speed flashing. Learn it. It's gonna be big. I don't know how much I've been shouting this run. I don't know how much I've been, like, peeking the microphone. I hope I haven't been doing it that much. I really hope not. I don't want to make this run, like, unlistenable. Because at the pace this is going, I'm gonna be proud of it. Okay, here we go. We're coming up to the end of the actual level part of level. We're going to be coming up to the boss on the other side of these meteors. Ba ba da 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 da. Ow! I didn't mean for that to hit me. Ow! Stop taking damage. And we don't have to damage boost here because we have enough room to just get in there.
It's a trap! What? What are you talking about, number 3?
My seatbelt! It's too tight! I feel trapped!
Hello? I'm trying to fly here.
Get a little bit of health off of these guys, and then the boss is going to show up in just a little bit. There we go, full health. Hello, flying house.
Watch out for those lasers, number 2. Even the Gamma God can't stand up to something like that.
Yeah, I do that. Stop it! That's me. That space station sure is awfully big. Can I be on their side?
Number 3?
I'm kidding, silly!
So yeah, basically we're fighting a hive mind of horrible children in a flying house Death Star. That's where we're at in this game. Because yeah, I won't go into the lore, but the delightful children are basically a hive mind. And now this boss, this is actually where a big time save should be, because last time I ran this game, I didn't know how the phases worked. I just assumed it was on a timer and it was an auto-scroller. But actuality, it's to do with how fast you destroy the lasers. Depending on the phase, it's mostly 4 times the amount of lasers. So there were 4 lasers here. So we're going to need to destroy 16 lasers before the boss becomes vulnerable again. And actually, we got a good pattern here. It's possible for the boss to immediately go into the final phase, where it has 5 lasers and requires 25, i.e. 5 times the amount of lasers spawned, which takes longer, understandably. And getting 2 phases of that pretty much undoes the time save that I have from knowing how this boss works. But this is the good pattern, so we're going to be saving some time here. And here we go, here's the 5 cycle, the 5 laser phase.
More pressure, number 5. I'm just saying.
There's a lot of damage boosting in this fight if you hadn't already seen and gathered. Because the lasers don't give you that much time to maneuver in between them, but they drop health, so your health is constantly going up and down in this fight. It's actually one of the more exciting fights in the game, or one of the more tense ones, rather. Ow. There we go. So this will be the end of the boss. And that's a 16:04. Not as much of a time save as we could have had, but still not that bad at all. And now if we do really well on this boss, this might even be sub 2 hours real time, which I thought could only be done with, like, the God run, but I guess with the glitch on Sticky Beard, this run probably qualifies. I just have to not throw this final boss, and this will be, like, the run to end all runs. Music bangs, too. So yeah, we're in a mech. This is a mech fight. And we want to stay away from the boss so it doesn't jump over to the other side. We want to kind of keep this ridge so the boss kind of can't really hit us. It'll jump around occasionally, but we don't really need to worry about it. You've got, like, the robots in the previous stage that are just sort of flying around shooting at us. Come on. So yeah, this is the amalgamation of every villain that we've fought so far. Oh, the iframes aren't going to last long enough for us to dodge that common cold attack. Number 2 likes puns, if you couldn't tell. That's like his main character trait. And we're using our... because our super attack in this fight fills up over time. Ow. For some reason... That's another thing. The lock-on tends to not cooperate in this fight because of the tiny little dudes rolling around. But we should be going into the second phase pretty soon. There's going to be, like, a phase where we run out of bullets, so we have to do a melee fight. Which is actually, when I was a kid, it was the phase I had the more trouble with. But now it's probably the easier of the two, just because we can stun lock the boss. This is the stun lock. We just do this over and over again, and occasionally interject with a super, where, like, the boss will allow. Sometimes we can get 3 jump attacks in per landing, but it's risky. Especially because sometimes we just whiff like that. It depends on where the boss lands if it's close enough to be able to do so. But most of the time it isn't. This one might be. Yeah, there, we managed to get 3 in there. If we're able to do that consistently, then we can take a lot of time off the boss. But it seems like we're not going to have as much luck in that regard as we have with other areas of this run. We should also note that, as I say, they're trying to launch us into the sun. They're trying to kill us. People might die here. I mean, nobody's going to die because we're going to win, and the bad guys don't die. They kind of just get defeated. But the bad guys want to kill us, to reiterate. Oh, whoa, that was some emulator lag. Oh, missed. Pick up some health, because these little moon rocks, they've got health in them. And yeah, this is gonna be a sub 2 run, which is up until today I thought was, even with the new skips, with the yeet skip, I thought would have been like a 205 maybe, but one last super and that's time. 1:57:32 real time, 4:16 on the boss. That is a 1:47:33 in-game time and a 1:57:32 real time. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the run to end all runs. Ah. Hell yeah. Let's get a cutscene going. I think we deserve a cutscene. There's Father. He's the main villain of this game. We never saw him. And now we get, like, the Star Wars medal awarding scene. You know the one. Eh, who cares? And now that we get to, like, play the credits, there's a level for the credits, but we don't care about that. Well, that has been the run. That is not just a world record, that is a record I doubt if I'll ever be able to beat, at least with my current level of strats. Like, wow. This is like the first run of this game I've done where it's felt like it's been, even with the strats, it's been like a marked improvement in performance. Like, there haven't been a bunch of mistakes that I'm like, okay, I'll iron this out on the next run. Like, I guess the death on ship shape, but even then, that was completely negated by the, like, 1 in a million sticky beard. But yeah, that's the run. I've been Steb McDreb. I've been your runner today. I'm sorry that we are now half an hour ahead. I didn't plan for this. I left the estimate as, like, what if everything that could go wrong does go wrong? But yeah, it's been a pleasure. Goodbye, everybody.
Alright, well, thanks a lot, Steb. I hope you recover correctly from this run. It was a really great run. We have some time, but we are gonna go to transition to intermission for a while. I'm gonna see when Todd is ready for his Street Fighter 2 run, and then we'll be back for the last run of the evening. Just stay tuned.